Lord, we thank you for our families and for empowering us with the resources to take care of them. We thank you for the clean cooking companies that are still persistent here. Thank you for giving them the drive, the initiative, and the guide to actually push and increase access to clean cooking in this country. We have a target to have universal access, and these are the companies, these are the institutions that you have blessed with this drive and agenda. So Lord, today as we have a climax meeting to discuss and share what we've gone through, what lessons we've learned during the course of the year, we pray that you may fill us with your spirit and your guidance to discuss and plan better for the next year. We thank you for the good deliberations that will follow. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I'm James Uganda, your Director Publicity at the UNACC Executive Board. I'm standing in for my chairperson, who is not around, and he has sent apologies for not being around today. He has only given me some little message to deliver to you, and I'm going to do it simply, but since I'm also part of the board, I'll begin with myself. Since we were here last year, we talked about a lot of things, and some of them have been implemented, where others have not been implemented. I only first of all want to appreciate and thank a team from Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, led by Dr. Isabiri and Madam Justina Kumu. I also want to appreciate you members for endeavoring to come here today. I want also to extend our sincere appreciation to Mr. James Banabe from MEX. I want to send our appreciation to every member who contributed towards this successful event in terms of finance, in terms of planning, and in terms of physical presence. All of you here, we are happy for you, and we are glad that we are going to share a lot of things together, and we hope that at the end of the day, there is a lot of things we shall have discussed and concluded. Now coming in on behalf of our chairperson. Our chairperson, Mr. Mvule, was so grateful for you people who have come here to attend this meeting. First of all, he was telling me to tell you that he liked so much the way you people you've responded to all calls from UNACC, calling you for exhibitions, calling you for meetings, calling you for seminars, calling you for everything, and you endeavored to attend. Thank you so much for attending all whatever has been organized on behalf of UNACC. He was telling me to appreciate the team from Ministry of Energy. He was telling me to appreciate the team from MEX and all members. What he was telling me also to tell you is that this year has not been so easy. We had a lot of challenges and we had a lot of successes. Among the successes we managed to organize a lot of exhibitions this year. We managed to organize meetings with the big partners. Members, allow me to show you that MEX organized for us this nature of arrangement. We have now free tents and we have chairs from MEX. Let's give them a loud hand clap. On behalf of our board, we shall take our sincere appreciation that we would wish to have more. Lastly, Mr. Chairman was telling me that you members, you should get organized from changes in the sector. He told me that a lot of things have changed, where cooking was entirely on biomass and biogas. There is now a new technology on the market, which is EPCs, and it's spreading so much. And I think the government and the Ministry of Energy has put here and is planning to put in a lot of money so that EPCs can be distributed. So you need to check yourself. Where are you? Are you still fitting in the other old structure of cook stoves, or you are switching or shifting? Now the ball is in your hands. So lastly, I want to thank our secretariat, headed by Miriam Sarah. Where is she? Hey, please. This lady with the others who are even behind there have done great work for us.
Members the second one from August to November. And that is the budget. We got support of 139 million, and of which we have been using to run the exhibitions in the different markets. We even had one exhibition in an agriculture shop. Some people went in Soroti because we have been advocating of how do we get out of Kampala and take clean cooking to the countryside. They need it badly. Somewhere I'm going to talk about it. So we actually did 97%. So Solomon, please, when you go back, tell your colleagues that they are not doing bad, because from the MEX support, without the challenges that we had that made us to hit the snap, we have actually hit 97%, 100. So we have learned, we are now very wise students. We shall not have regrets in the next class. Thank you. Yeah, so again, looking at the donor trend, from the previous years we had WWF, but I'm just looking at 2022 and 2023. That is the balance I was talking about from GIZ, where they cleared the areas in 2022. And then this is the money we got from MEX, and just in this very month, we also got some support from FAO. So just like the saying goes, nobody wants to associate with failure. And since we learned and we're really taken through a hard drill by GIZ, thank you very much GIZ for hearing us, and you can see FAO is coming on board, and I think many others will come on board. And we have a bright future, members, dear members. Don't lose hope. The road is very, very clear. So we got support of 1.6 from FAO, also to support the exhibitions, the market exhibitions. We have a big plan next year to have 2 market exhibitions every month, and then we want to get out to all the cities. I think there are 9 or 10 the cities in Uganda. We want to get out there. We also plan to go to the agriculture shows. There's one in Jinja, there's one in Soroti, I think there's one in Gulu. So we are going to look out for all of them, and then we'll go there, because cooking goes hand in hand with agriculture and food. Yeah, so from my side, I've already told you about the support that we got, how we have used it, and now I'm looking at the way forward for 2024. Like the board chair told you, we are looking forward to having an AGM where there will be elections. So people should start warming up for the seats. And we're also planning, we do not do audit for 2022 because we didn't have the money. So we are planning for it, audit for 2022 and 2023. It's very, very important when you're an organization of a good standing like UNACC. It's very important to have audits. That is what tells people how things are being done from the third party. And then we also want to intensify on mobilization of the members. Currently, my register has 54 members, which is not very big, and we all know that numbers is what keeps us. They say if you want to go very fast, walk alone, but if you want to go far, you go with many people, so we can go far. We also want to look at resource mobilization. Through GIZ support, we developed very many documents that are supposed to guide on that, but because of the hiccups here and there, we've not fully utilized them. So we want to see how we can utilize them in 2024, so that we come up with a team which is dedicated to looking for resources. There's a lot of money out there. I think Justin will tell us, but how do we tap it? How do we position ourselves to get that money? Looking at promotion of the exhibitions, awareness creation. I want to assure all of you that matters for us who are here in the clean cooking technologies. We know about these clean cooking technologies, but when we are in the exhibitions, even those women who are in the market, who are there where the exhibition is taking place, don't know about those things. So I don't know how we are going to up the game to create more awareness. We could do maybe TV, maybe radio, but again, not everybody is on radio, not everybody has access. We need to do social media, we need to reach out, maybe even door to door, to let people know that the clean cooking technologies are there. Now, my last word to the ministry, to the partner organizations, and to whoever cares to listen. As we drum out and tell people about the clean cooking technologies, there reaches a time when we don't have EPCs. We have told people they have come, the EPCs are not there. We have told people they have come, the gas is not there. So what do we do? How do we match the two? The awareness with the supply, so that as we go out, you don't start telling people that you see, you know, and they are not seeing, because you're telling them you see but they're not seeing. So with those few words, time is not on our side. I beg to stop here. Thank you so much.
Projects implemented, ambassador programs, and product marketing as activities undertaken by UNACC in the year 2023 and what is planned for the year 2024. Madam Sir, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, the MC of today's event. My name is Sarah Babilye. I welcome you and greet you in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. You're most welcome. This hasn't been very busy today. Of course, rain comes with blessing, but sometimes that blessing, some of us might not really be happy with the rain, but it's okay, since now that is what is happening at the moment. Thank you so much for coming, all our dear members from various areas and various districts. Thank you so much once again, not disappointing us, because I really very know most of us are business people. Even those who are business people, they have a lot of work to do, but sacrificing a Friday towards this festive season is really something that we don't take for granted. So I once again appreciate and thank you so much. Most importantly, still, also, you see, I was also further appreciating our dear members who have been attending actively all the exhibitions that we hold the whole of this year. Of course, with support from various partners, but more specifically MEX, Modern Energy Cooking Services. I want to say thank you so much, our dear members who have been exhibiting with us in all the markets where I have exhibited all the products. This has increased the visibility of UNACC, and really UNACC is now on a higher side. If you talk about UNACC, people take it as something that is very serious. So I did not know that he was going to take everything I was speaking seriously. He told me, go back and write a simple concept on just one page. I couldn't still believe, but I just did what he told me. We submitted that concept to him, and he took the concept to MEX, and within just a week, MEX gave us 7 million to support members of UNACC to attend the New Energy Conference. So that was the breakthrough, because ever since then, we are now moving on very well because of the support of MEX, but everything was because of Mr. James Banabe, who connected us to MEX. But still I have to thank other partners, for example, GIZ, because it was institutional capacity building project that recruited the 3 staff for UNACC, who have been actively also pushing on the agenda for promoting all the clean cooking technologies. Now I can proceed with my presentation. Highlight key issues in the clean cooking subsector that most of us know. UNACC mandates in addressing some of these key issues. The activities which are done by UNACC, particularly 2023, major challenges faced by UNACC, some of the proposed activities in 2024, and the conclusion. So I'll be very brief. As we all know, that majority of the population, we are still using the traditional form of cooking, that is using charcoal and firewood, which is now really very expensive. I know, at least if some of us who are still using charcoal, we know that the full sack is 160. So that implies that most of the people, close to 90%, are still using biomass for cooking. And because of this, 44 tons of wood is being depleted annually because people are using charcoal and firewood for cooking. But also the access to clean cooking is less than 20%, even in Kampala alone, where people have got electricity, people are exposed to most of these clean cooking technologies. We score less than 20% in Kampala for the people who are using various clean cooking technologies. Surprisingly, or most disappointing, is that out of 70% of the population in urban settings, for example, Kampala, we still score 1% of those people who are only using clean cooking and particularly using electricity for cooking. So 1% is using electricity in Kampala. That is so disappointing, but we are trying to create awareness because the focal point of why we still have 1% in Kampala, or less than actually 1% using electricity for cooking, is because of low levels of awareness. We are trying to do all of our best, but we need to inform more people about the health benefits of using clean cooking, particularly using electricity for cooking, because that's where we are going to address wrong perceptions that people have. For example, the foods are not sweet, the foods cooked with electric pressure cookers don't have the good aroma, or maybe electricity is expensive. That now takes us back to tariffs, which people are not aware that they are electric tariffs. So we have to do a lot of awareness creation as UNACC, say that the percentage can increase from 1% at least to 30% by 2030. Mandate for UNACC, our vision is really not clear, but it is better health and sustainable environment. UNACC is having thematic areas. We are not promoting electric pressure cookers alone, like most of people said, like my finance and administration officer, that now they are thinking that UNACC is as equal as electric pressure cookers. No, that is not true, although this was more vibrant this year. However, UNACC is categorized into thematic areas. We have got a thematic area for electric pressure cooking, the one for LPG, which is really very active and has been so active this year, the one for improved cook stoves. We have those for briquettes, those for biogas, among others. So conducive for us. Some of the activities that UNACC has been doing in this 2023 more has been national awareness creation. We have been promoting a lot of clean cooking technologies or modern cooking technologies. We have done these exhibitions in various areas. We went to KCCA headquarters. We did in Wandegeya Market, Nakasero Market, Owino Market, Bugolobi Market, Equity Bank, All Saints Cathedral, Bugolobi Church, MOOBS, Nina Interiors, and even some of those places which are not here. Because if I'm to count very well, we have done exhibitions, both major, which are publicized, but also those whereby you just go and gather some people in an institution. When we combine all those exhibitions, we have almost done 30 this year. Those with MEX support and those without MEX support have gone beyond 30. So I really want to congratulate all our members upon active participation in all these exhibitions that has increased UNACC visibility. These are some of the pictures. I'm so sorry they cannot be seen, but this summarizes most of the pictures where we have been with various key stakeholders. We are presenting a pressure cooker to our Honorable Minister, Minister Ruth Nankabira, but also we presented one to KCCA. Actually, because of the good collaboration we built with KCCA, we are now very okay to go to most of the markets in KCCA. You just go with that letter they gave us and you do your exhibitions without any hesitation. Okay? And some of course, the UNACC activities are more of policy and legal advocacy. And on this very note, I'm appreciating and really recognizing the very important role of our energy officer who is here with Commissioner and also Mr. Herbert who hasn't come here. They have done a lot of helping us to push some of the policies which are really hard, but at least we are seeing that by this coming year, most of things are going to be discussed further. For example, tax exemption on some of the technologies, and of course some of the technologies now like ethanol, it is exempted already, but of course you'll discuss more when that time comes. But thank you so much for the good support from the Ministry of Energy. Whenever I call Miss Justin, whether she's very busy, she just came back from Dubai, from COP, but she has bothered to come here. So thank you so much. We don't take this for granted because we've been so supportive. Anything we need from the ministry, she's really there to help us. UNACC does more still of we do networking, information sharing, and knowledge transfer. Such events like these ones is where we do knowledge transfer and networking. Because when you come and you meet someone that you did not know, he talks about the technology. There is a lot of knowledge sharing that someone can go back and build on, so that to make our technologies better, improve the quality, and also the standards for all the technologies. Hence, fulfilling our mandate, because one of the activities we have to do is to ensure quality standards for the technologies that we do promote. We have done some of the media programs whereby we are now disseminating a lot of information, not from only the exhibitions, but also most of the media personnel now know us. Most of the TVs know us. They are now even calling us to have some kind of talk shows. That was very expensive, and that was not so easy by last time. But now, because of the visibility, we have a very good collaboration with the media. Last time we organized a media sensitization workshop. I think I'll go ahead. We sensitized the media sensitization workshop, whereby we disseminated information to the media people, because we realized that these are the people who can spread further on what is clean cooking. So if these changing agents, or if these people do not know how an electric pressure cooker operates, or how an improved cooktop looks like, how an ethanol does or looks like, it is not easy to disseminate information to the population or the community. But now we are engaging in the media more. They are promising to engage further even this coming year, whereby UNACC can have very many talk shows and we talk about these technologies. And on this very note, we shall be inviting some of the focal people, some of the members of UNACC who are implementing companies who are doing the technologies themselves. They go on the media, they talk about the technologies, they talk about biogas, the challenges, they talk about solar for cooking, the challenges. We address all these key challenges together through a platform that can be really understood by every person. With support from MEX, we have done a lot of activities, and one of them is support for the Renewable Energy Conference, whereby this year, last year we did not so actively participate as UNACC, as the Alliance. We did not have sessions organized by UNACC. At least what I know is that last year we did some exhibitions, that was all. But this year, UNACC was so vibrant, we organized an event on our own, a side session, whereby 3 sessions were conducted. One was on enabling environment for the private sector, and we had very good panel discussants who made a very good discussion, and I think I shared the report to most of us who are here. Another session was on strategy for transitioning most of the clean cooking technologies in urban centers, and the last session was on harnessing access to clean cooking technologies. I want you to congratulate you, and once again to say thank you so much. Why? Because most of us attended to that session. It is not always easy to invite people. REC is a very busy international conference whereby people have got various interests in different things. But UNACC sessions, all of them were full because UNACC members fully participated and engaged in this wonderful session. So thank you so much for that. Most importantly, before I can skip also this slide, is UNACC was awarded as the runner-up of the year, exhibit of the year, I think we have this award. Where is it? We don't have to take this for granted because there are very many companies, but if you have got the award in that red box, so you have to bring it here. So, since we didn't get this last year, so it means I don't take it for granted. So we got this award. We are the best. Oh, the runner-up. Exhibit of the year. Really the best, I think, in Uganda. In Uganda, we are the best. So thank you so much, our dear members, because this is not because of UNACC Alliance as itself, but because of the members who have been actively engaged in exhibitions throughout the whole year. You call someone to come, someone has to pay some money, someone has to put in some cost. Even at times some people don't sell, probably because of the unique technologies and maybe the higher cost attached on them. But people never get tired. You call them on other exhibitions, they do turn up and they come. So collectively, all these exhibitions made us to win, and we are the best in Uganda. Renewable Energy Conference as the best exhibitors of the year. We have been really so much engaged with the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, that's the government, and have been actively participating in most of the conferences. And like I said, one of them has been that. A number of standards have been developed, and UNACC has been playing a very vital role. For example, now we have the institutional biogas and institutional stoves. I think it is under development, but most of the members are giving their contributions towards coming up with a good standard for the improved cook stoves. Those are institutional. We have the ones for households, but we don't have one yet for institutional. So UNACC is working hand in hand with the Ministry of Energy or the government to ensure that even for institutional biogas stoves and institutional improved cook stoves, there are standards. We are actively engaged in the national cooking strategy, and the draft, I think, is underway. We shall be informed later. We are also advocating for tax exemption, of course, with the Ministry of Energy, with the government. We shall get the updates from our representative from the ministry. We've been participating in a lot of multi-level governance dialogues or workshops with other various stakeholders. For example, we have UNACC, whereby the call is out, and I'm very sure most of the members are going to apply. There is HTCC also. All is a collective effort of various stakeholders, but with support of the ministry or the government, to see that we promote a clean cooking mandate. We have, though, of some of the success stories we are talking about, we have got a lot of challenges, and these challenges are faced by UNACC itself. For example, I'll begin by talking about low membership. I know it is there, but it's a very key point. UNACC is a membership-based organization whereby all the members have to subscribe to be among a recognized institution like this one. And on top of this, I can say that on the platform for UNACC, the WhatsApp group for UNACC, we are almost coming to 300. That means we have at least 100 company members. But it is really not so okay when she was reporting that the whole of this year, even with the tangible benefits, UNACC has only registered 11 companies which have subscribed. This is not good news because we are running out of this the member subscription to cater for rent, to cater for maybe the secretariat. On this very note, I want to appreciate one, the secretariat, all the members I work with. Kindly help me and applause up, because truthfully, if we did not have passion for UNACC, we are a family, so I will not speak this, we are a family. You comprise of UNACC. I cannot be here if UNACC is not there. But if these people did not have a passion for clean cooking technology, UNACC would be dead long time ago. Why? Because we have low membership, which cannot even pay, whether the technical officer, whether the finance and administrative officer, whether the project coordinator. Literally, we are working just because we love clean cooking, but we don't get any monthly payment. So sometimes when we ask for things, maybe you think we are maybe probably dragging you or I don't know. Just bear with us. At times we get also pissed off because we work under stress, under pressure. We are working because we love the sector, we love clean cooking, we love money, but money shall find us later when things are moving on well. So I want to appreciate my secretary I work with, On top of that, I want to appreciate the board members. We disturb them, you tell them to do this and this, but they've never gotten any single coin from UNACC, whether from MEX, whether from anywhere, but they are working freely. So I'm appreciating the board members. Please, Mr. Jime Sewaduka, thank you so much. Appreciate the board members there. We appreciate the role that they do voluntarily without even hoping to get any money. But things are moving on very well. So thank you so much. So another challenge that we have is we have limited distribution networks for clean cooking technologies. Yes, we are promoting all these technologies, but I'm calling upon most of the company owners here to ensure or to try as much as they can to put a lot of distribution networks. For example, I was in Owino. Many people are calling me because these flyers that we give out to all the procurers have got my contacts. So every person thinks, I have pressure cook at home, I have an ethanol stove, I supply them, I have the fuel itself, I have the cook stove. Every person calls because they need them. So that means that wherever we go, let us leave a mark there. When we go to Owino, take up. I love Masupa, they did it one time and they are so successful. When we went to Owino last time, they took up, they got a stall, now they are supplying their briquettes. So I'm requesting and encouraging all the members, after leaving the area, let us try to create a lot of distribution points. I know you have enough, and of course it goes with money because it needs rating, but we still have very few distribution networks. That is, if we talk about the approved cook stoves, at least you can find them in most of the companies that have them. But now challenges come to things, for example, the EPCs, the pressure cookers, whereby we find them now, we have capitalized them to be around Kampala on the urban centers. Away from Kampala, no one knows about electric pressure cookers. So we have got very few distribution points about these technologies, and because of this is affecting our adoption or the uptake of these clean cooking technologies. It still has high operational costs that I think I've explained it through my conversation. We have got a lot of things to run, but we are limited by money. We don't have money, and why? Because people don't pay. Why? Because of some internal issues. Some we are talking about, they don't know whether UNACC belongs to Beta or Beta, so they don't know whether to subscribe to Beta, to subscribe to UNACC. So I'm requesting with board, the one existing and the new board, to streamline such issues, because someone can use that as a defensive mechanism to say, I will not subscribe because I don't know where. Should I take to Beta? Should I take to UNACC? And in due course, someone is not aware, we don't know whether he's in Beta, he's in UNACC, but he gets the opportunities or the benefits from either sides. And that really sabotages with what we do, and it sets us back so much. We have a summary of something that we are planning. We have a planned retreat by UNACC Secretariat, of course, to increase the capacity building. We are going to be having a new board that is going to be elected next year. I think that is going to be Tuesday. So whoever is warming up for some of the, I hope I did scare you when I said there is no money completely, but the new board should, because there is money. Next board, there is money. So kindly organize to get some of the positions, and really, doesn't appear like it is completely free. We are having a lot of RBF projects. So many of them, I'm so happy our stakeholder, our partner here, GIZ is here. We have got UNACC. I know some of us have applied for it. We have RBF by UNITPC. We have RBF by what else? By SNV. We have RBF by NDV itself. So please participate in all this. We are trying to talk to our partners, saying that they don't really make it so stringent, that the requirements are really putting most of the people out. I think we make it so fair for most of us to participate. And then we shall of course have the REC 24, and we shall keep our award or make it even better. Our partners strongly this year have been Ministry of Energy, Modern Energy Cooking Services, GIZ, that is EDEV, and also FAO, which is even promising to come up next year strongly, saying that we don't only do awareness creation within Kampala, but we can, with support of GIZ, promised by GIZ and FAO, of course with MEX again, we are going now to scale up these exhibitions to away from Kampala. So next year, please warm up. We are going to go to Lira, Soroti, Arua, West Nile, and all that. We shall have some few in Kampala, but now spreading our wings to outside Kampala. And in conclusion, we thank so much the members to be here. We have, of course, limited budget. Our performance is always affected by limited budget that we have. We want to do more of awareness creation. If we can bring and come and work together, we want to go higher. We still recognize that there is low levels of awareness of clean cooking technologies, But again, we all know that there is still a higher demand of these technologies. People are not aware, but most of the people would love to take up them. We were surprised when we went to a Owino market, where most of the people thought that how can you take an electric pressure cooker in Owino? But those, when we take out of the records, those are the people who bought most of the pressure cookers. Why? When you explain them the health benefits of these pressure cookers, someone says, I'm tired of eating chukamando because I don't have time. But now with an EPC, I put my rice 15 minutes to be ready. People bought these EPCs. And we also learned lessons. For example, when you want to get some source from institutions like banks, either you must go through circles or you must go at the end of the month when they are paid. But for Owino people, all such categories, anytime they have their money, because they are not monthly earners. But we went to some banks, I will not mention them, but almost got one sale or two, because they say you didn't come at the right time. So let us create these technologies after learning some lessons, and really we move together. Okay, I think I'm done. Thank you so much, members, for this wonderful attention given to me. I want to thank people who have come here. Let me say, I think I'm about to hand over.
And right about now, we're getting into our partners, and we start with is our partner makes Modern Energy Group Services, and we started that Director James Banale will make that presentation with regard to makes. So you're welcome. And just a quick one. I was of the view that we finish up everything and then go for lunch at once. Is that a fair view? Hey, thank you very much for anonymously agreeing to my submission.
Thank you very much. I didn't make a presentation, but I think it's okay. I can talk. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to, first of all, congratulate UNACC for having survived this far, despite the challenges. And we believe that as the sector is becoming vibrant, you're going to have a better year 2024. Now, I need to clarify that makes Modern Energy Cooking Services strictly deals with non-biomass. You should not blame us for that, but it's also because, they want something that's clean, that's protecting the environment, and therefore the support has been focusing mainly on the non-biomass technologies. But UNACC's mandate is bigger than that. So I'd also like to say that for 2024, MEX is waiting for proposals that you have. In other words, there's still money, there's a lot of money that's coming to the sector. I have also convinced them to provide you funding, because you've been saying that there are very few people supplying EPCs. So they want to capitalize, and they bought into my idea. They do bulk procurement of some of these technologies, like EPCs, and then you members can take what you can, invite what you can buy. You can buy 5, 6. Go and sell. Now, and I think Justin will also be telling us more how there is even a global coalition to promote e-cooking. There is a lot of global interest as well, and MEX is part of that. In other words, there is a lot of business coming, and you don't have to stay in your, if you've been doing biomass, don't stay comfortable when biomass is having its own challenges. Biomass will still be significant because only 80% of the population have access to electricity, so the biomass technologies will still be required. But I have a few, in the interest of time, I have a few suggestions I want to make. First of all, it was my idea to come up with these things. People didn't even tell me, I thought for you. And the people and all that. But how can we better these exhibitions? And my idea was, can it be sustainable? Can that be done sustainably? Even if GIZ makes is not there. Isn't it possible that you guys, on your own, can go out and carry out exhibitions? When it comes to parties like this, end of the year, you people pay some money. When it comes to exhibitions, you want to pay. You need to think about that. So we need to improve our exhibitions, and I have a few ideas. When you have your planning retreat, you can invite me. So I've been listening to your videos which you run. There's a video you just posted on your WhatsApp group. And there's somebody talking in the background. Is he around? Somebody was talking in the mic. Is he around? He's not, huh? You had hired someone. So you need some professional marketing. Something like somebody passing by here and come and buy your exhibitions. Don't just tell people come, the price is reduced, you come one, but tell them that this particular technology, like this and UPC, you only use 300 shillings to prepare a meal. Like if somebody hears that, 300 shillings to prepare a meal, is that true? Let me go and find out. So you need to package convincing messages that will attract someone passing by. That's why we get the communication system. Not for music. We just play music, that kind of thing. But I think you can also use it for relaying messages. And how can you do it? You can actually get a professional and have these messages recorded. You get the messages from them, if they should do the blangos, and therefore you keep praying it. Then you like hear these people selling unions. Rukumi. You hear Rukumi, you go there, you find the thing is 10,000. So that's one idea I have, that you guys get these properly recorded messages that will attract people to exhibitions. Not just shouting and telling them that you don't have things on the front. But the other thing I also want to encourage is institutions. I organized a visit to UEDCL. We talked to them very well, and that time, Weather Solutions was there. They were been able to sell more than 20, 30 EPCs. But also, their union, their circle, they also say through the circle they want to acquire more. In other words, there is business, and there are many UEDCLs around. I mean, you can go to UNRA, you can go to URA, you can go to Water, you can mention. And some of you have relatives and friends and in-laws in those institutions. So in other words, if UNACC gets more organized, they will not finish the opportunities that are available. People want these green cooking technologies. We've already seen the challenges. Taco is very expensive, and people want their solutions. They don't know, and they are not well informed. If you don't pay, then you stay at home. But if you're paying, you definitely get the benefits. I mean, pay your membership fee so that you can have, whether we have elections or not, so that you can support our activities. And through UNACC, and rather through NETS, plan serious activities that you want, inform us, and we'll see how we can support you. Even JZ is there to support you, A is there to support you. There are many partners who are willing to support you. So I think briefly that's what I can say. I want to wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kamal. I think I should recommend one activity that makes you support UNACC is how we collect and consolidate our data, our work as UNACC. Because one of the outcomes that make UNACC stronger is having the data on the human proteins business. UNACC should be a one-stop center for this information. I don't know how we can do that, but it also comes down to the members willing to be accountable. If we can have a quarterly biannual report on the performance of the sector, how are we selling in EPCs, how are we selling the cookstoves, how we send the brigade. This shows how healthy the subsector is. So a funder, an investor sees that the sector is booming, and someone feels secure, they commit their money to such a sector. So I don't know if that's something makes and government a big interest in to ensure that such associations or alliances, do this on a quarterly or biannual basis. But I'll leave that to that, and I would want to invite the next speaker who's going to do a business development capacity presentation or sharing, and that's Solomon from GIZ.
Also last year. Can you hear me? Great. Yeah. For those who do not know me, my name is Solomon Tempo. I work with GIZ, and I've been working with some of the people who are stood here to speak on different capacities. So I also want to just extend my voice to thank the Secretariat, to stand next to thank Justine and colleagues for being here, and for the members to come here. Three things that I would like to talk about, more on projects that we have as GIZ, but also on the support that we have available, which I believe that the members can count on. Number one, heading the business development support. Something I want to highlight here is that we've been working with EEC to offer support, which is business development support for companies. And companies don't necessarily have to be promoting IT or taking technologies or modern technologies like UNACC is focused on, but is looking at the sector in general. This year, of course, we were able to support about 6 companies in cooking. But we are looking at more support next year, and looking at intentionally January or February, towards the beginning of February, for more companies to participate in it. Of course, working with UNACC, we are coming up with a concept of seeing how we can, of course, strengthen the support, and how we can, of course, be intentional. So, in collaboration with FLO, we intend to, of course, work with the Secretariat more next year. This year, we're working with NREP and UNACC to come up with a concept to see how we can support. So I must say that, yes, there is money for the Secretariat, of course, to streamline the work. So, Sarah, this has been a discussion we've had. I've talked to James before about how we can support you. And we identified a few things that we discussed, of course, with the Secretariat members. I've shared it and encouraged her to, of course, share it with the board also. So we're looking forward to seeing how we can support them and support the members themselves next year. So through Sarah, through the association, we are available to offer that support because we understand that the need is there. It's very crucial, especially if we have to tap into finance. And we realize that each finance that comes has some condition attached to it, and sometimes most of the members do not meet them or are not ready with their conditions. So preparing you to have this judgment is something that we're looking at. It's now the second year that we're supporting companies. It's not something that we're stopping, so we're going to continue supporting companies. One other thing, and I think we've been having a discussion of how we can support to come up with that collective standard point where we can have information related to input in general. And that is something that we are looking at using, especially next year with the concept of the development. So let's magnify it, let's collaborate to come with something that is tangible, something that is impactful, something that is meaningful, that will not only help the Secretariat be more stronger, but but also strengthen their members of the Secretariat. Lastly, as a wind up, of course, we talked about the projects that are coming. Please look out for them, apply for them, inquire from the Secretariat what the needs are, and reach out to us also individually if you have it. We have the current call on IT and clean cooking, which is focusing more on advanced biomass cooking solutions. So we're not leaving out with biomass in this space, but we're looking at also advanced biomass cooking solutions. Then of course, electric cooking solutions. So there are two kinds of call. One is on innovation challenge, which is a bit flexible in the way it is designed. It wants to hear from you what you think you can do, or what you intend to do, and the support that you need there. So I would say, please apply for it, and we'll be discussing, of course, with the different members in the development sector to see how best we can, of course, encourage the local companies, because we know that the needs are there, and for the biggest part of the time, it's normally the big companies that have a stronger model that normally take up some of the calls. But then how about the small companies, those who just started, how we support them? So these are some of the ways that we always tend to support companies. I'm happy to, of course, identify, of course, BSO, which benefited from the first call that we had last year for the electric cooking, and their visibility is coming. I see them growing. Would love to have more local companies like that come up. So look out for those calls. Don't fear to apply. Prepare all the materials that you need to apply. So that there, of course, is a demand-side subsidy similar to the UNACC project. So also look out for that. And we are also entering partnership with Equity Bank, who will be managing the RPF for improved cooking solutions, looking at mainly lower tier and some bit of higher tier cooking solutions. So, and I know some of you have benefited from it, so wait out for that call, inquire where there's need. Through Sarah, we normally share most of this information. So we are happy to support you in that way. But in terms of business development support, that need is there, and next year, come end of Jan or towards the beginning of Feb, we have another call. So I encourage all of you to apply. For those that participated, they can testify that they've improved. That's something that we're looking forward to, especially as the sector continues to grow. With these short words, I'll end at this. I appreciate you for listening. Have a brilliant afternoon and the rest of the day. And feel free to interact with all of us from the time it is. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Solomon, for a sustainable and suitable business environment for guinea cooking to address some of the concerns that have been raised, but also speak to us on issues that have been discussed at COP28. Some matters concerning guinea cooking. I remember Senior Banabe indicated that there were some other commitments made there on guinea cooking. So Madam Justin, you're welcome. And after Madam Justin, we'll have about 10 minutes of Q&A, so that our audience makes reactions, particularly to those that have been from the finance, the commission, the coordinator, Mr. Banabe, Solomon, and Justin shall make reactions before we make look at the way forward, and then have the closing remarks.
Good afternoon to you all. I'm going to be as brief as a cook because all my partners whom I work with on a daily basis have already spoken. So I don't have much to say except thank you for inviting us. I'm in my own shoes, but I'm also representing Engineer Herbert Abigaba, who should have been giving these remarks. So thank you very much. When we created UNACC, that was in the year 2023, we created UNACC with an objective. I remember my director, James Banabe, led was our top leadership that created UNACC with an objective to increase access to clean cook stocks. And here we had a target of 20 million cook stocks. So I want to ask, have we achieved that? Where are we? Are we on track? Meanwhile, this was by 2020. So let's give an allowance for COVID and all those things, but where are we? Are we on track? And how are we getting there? And how can we ensure that we achieve those targets? What I want to say is the government's policy on clean cooking is to have universal access to clean cooking. As you can see in the recently launched energy policy of 2023, but with 2040 targets, we are looking at universal access. We also have the energy transition plan that was launched at COP28, and the big focus actually was on clean cooking because we saw the trajectory. If we looked at emission reduction just in clean cooking, then we could achieve our clean cooking targets. So clean cooking is big, and indeed at COP28 there was a lot of excitement and commitments and focus on clean cooking. So from the government's policy, we have targets to increase access to at least under NDP3, we are looking at a 50% target. By 2030, the energy transition plan wants us to have an 100% target, while the energy policy is looking at universal access by 2040. So how is the government supporting the achievement of this? We are strongly working together with UNACC and also with our partners. We're very grateful for the support of one GIZ, who I think has been the longest player in this field. We appreciate the support, and it's through that other players have come in on board to support the clean cooking sector, and that has a lot to do with the support that GIZ, played. And now we have new players on board. We have SNV, we have the MEX program, and we have all those partners who are coming in to support government's agenda in line with our policy targets. So we are very appreciative to our partners for the support that you've given to us. Yes, so when you see MEX, when you see GIZ, when you see SNV, just know in the back there is government who has aligned them and said, we want clean cooking, this is where the money should go. So please, thank you to me as well. I also send my appreciation to Commissioner Dr. Isabidie, who is very keen and pertinent, and he keeps pushing the donors, he keeps pushing for support in clean cooking, saying the focus should not only be on electrification, on access to lighting. What about clean cooking? Let's not leave anyone behind. And I'm glad that, our supporters are responding, and this is the funding that you see. And indeed, in future, we are going to have much more. But what has been done under the Electricity Access Scale-Up project, we've had one of the biggest results-based fund programs, and even a clean cooking fund launched in the country. We have had banks, and please let me know if, I hope I'm accurate in this, we have had banks open clean cooking funding programs. I think that is through Equity Bank, Centenary Bank, and Stanbic. We are having discussions with Microfinance Support Center to also create a funding portfolio for clean cooking. So we really see the future is big. I think for UECCC it's about $30 million. Yes, we also having discussions with other partners such as the British High Commission in providing additional financing in the clean cooking sector. The ministry's perspective is to increase access to clean cooking, and here we are open to all solutions. We're not skewed towards electricity cooking. That's why we are developing a national integrated strategy, because we see different technologies play a role in us achieving clean cooking access. So that includes LPG, electric cooking, biogas technology, and all the other solutions. I don't want to say much. What we have done, I think what we plan to do this year, I think one big breakthrough that we have achieved is we have succeeded in waiving taxes in ethanol, that is VAT and also excise duty. So right now, if you're dealing in ethanol, you shouldn't be paying any taxes for as long as it is produced in a country. I just hope it translates into a reduced price. So before that announcement, the ethanol was 5,000. I expected the ethanol to now be 3,800 there. So how that translates, we're not really seeing, but we hope with time that comes through. Next on the agenda is we are discussing with the Ministry of Finance to waive taxes on electric pressure cookers and induction cookers, and here we are targeting VAT waiver of 18%. Yes, so we have lots of activities that are geared up, but one big thing that we see in the clean cooking sector is the carbon potential, and I think it is an untapped opportunity that we are really pushing for, because we see with actually carbon we can reduce the price of these appliances by even 40%. Yeah, so it's an opportunity that we don't want to miss out. We're seeing the big international companies getting it. How can our small local companies do that? That is something we want to explore with UNACC, and actually with support of MEX. That's one of the things we will be exploring. We also see, there's lots of funding opportunities that came in this year. We had the UNACC project. I think there's a running call that's out. I think that Beyond the Grid Fund, GIZ has just announced another fund, and we have more funds that are coming. But as UNACC, how can we work together to ensure that once these funds come, they are targeted and even our members can receive those funds? Because what we see is those big companies that did not really need the support, the ones who go for them. Then our companies remain struggling, and there's a big disparity. How can we ensure that our companies benefit from that? So that is what we want to do moving forward in 2023, 2024. We also want to support, again, the supply chain, local manufacture. So today we already have a collaboration with Uganda Investment Authority, where we want to support some local producers in terms of assembly and eventual local manufacture, and not just electric cooking appliances, but also the biomass stoves are automated, and also digitalization. How can we go from the business as usual to embed technology in our clean cooking solutions? That actually, it's easy to monitor and verify these solutions, our clean cooking interventions with that. So as government of Uganda, we are very supportive to UNACC. We've always been, and any initiative to grow the sector, we are very willing. It is embedded in our policy. Where our policy is not satisfactory enough, we urge you again through UNACC, come to us. Let's have a discussion and a platform where we can ensure that we design the right policy aimed at growing the private sector to ensure that we have universal access to clean cooking. I would like to end my submissions with that, and I wish you a lovely year. Thank you.
Now, it's a ladies' show. So, if you have some questions, some queries, issues that you need clarification from, please put up your hand, and we are very opportunity to highlight these issues. Or even comments, generally, what has been submitted.
I'm sorry, I was heading into Madam Akum, but she's disappearing, so maybe another person can tell you. So maybe you can first go, then you shall find us, because you need to.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kalema Abdul. Mine goes to the coordinator, Sarah. Last year in our get-together, we made an action point to the board of directors. So I wanted Sarah to give us a presentation of what the milestones that we set and where we are today, so that we are able to say 2024, this is what we are going to do as pending. As for next action plan, it was not one of the action points, just came along the way. Thank you very much about next. But can we please get to know how far did our board of directors go as far as last year's action points were planned? Thank you.
That directed to Sarah or even the board members who are here. Yes, I think the other question waits for. Yes, there is a doctor there.
Thank you so much, MC. Sarah, what can I say? I just pass a lot of thanks. Thank you so much for the great work you have done for UNACC. But I just wanted to come back probably to clear the climate here. This is the end of the year party. There's nothing much to do with the questions going to the board. I think we are planning to have an AGM, I think sometime next year. Is it Tuesday? February? Next March. March, okay, yeah. I think that is the time when such questions will be asked. If you don't mind, because we can easily mix up the end of the year party where we are going to have food, eat, and stay together, dance together, rather than getting into that, because there's a lot to be asked. Of course, we had the presentation on the budget was not so much detailed, so we had to even ask those questions. It was just an overview.
You want to speak back to that before you give in your question for Justin? Because I also agree with the doctor that this, I think that some of those questions will be asked when we have the annual general meeting. Those are the main principles of operation of the institution. But though we are getting a get together, maybe some of what we arises from here can be further discussed at that forum. But I
suggest that it will be more ahead here if we could discuss a lot here at this time. Because at the annual general meeting, what usually quite carries up in people's mind is about election. Election is who's voting in, who's voting out. And at that time is when the outgoing board takes up to discuss how their respective offices were running. So I think it will not have in much time to go all through this, but if we can at least handle it here for a short time, we can put it in our records, and then we can still push it over to our platform and we indulge more on that. So maybe if we hear about the AGM, it's quick so much. So I think we can discuss it if it's possible.
So that's well. Any more questions or comments, please? Suggestions, ideas? Because even here brainstorming, what do we do different next year? I think last year we had one of our partners as UNACC was mostly GIZ and NEX. This year we now have FAO added to the on board, and I'm sure more partners will be coming. So I think one of the things we need to be, how do we grow our partner base? I think that's a very important one. We're trying to give supporters the things now we have as UNACC, but beyond what we have, we are milestones we want to achieve. What do we need? Yes, look.
Which probably is affecting the uptake of the energy mix which we have put on the market. And one of them is promotion or creating awareness. Yes, we have the government, it has its own activity plan, of course. UNACC has its own, and the companies also have their own. But you may appreciate that creating awareness or marketing is one of the biggest, so expensive activity in any company. I feel so bad to put out probably 100 million to create my own awareness, then another company comes and picks up my customer. So we just want to learn from government, of course yourself, Justin, and together with the board of UNACC to give us some light. What are we going to do a little bit different from what we have been doing? because yes, you have seen, funds have come around. And what I can appreciate is that most of the RBF which are around, there is little which has been said about marketing. Of course, when you make these applications, they usually look at the products which you are buying, those ones which you are going to sell. When you put a lot of money for marketing, you might easily be pushed out. Experienced that before. So just put it to Justin, who has just come back. I just think about funding for promotion and creating awareness, together with the board and other ministry officials who can give us some kind of insights. How best can we do it? How can we probably even move out of Kampala? Just of course, our coordinator spoke about creating awareness in Kampala here, which we do appreciate. We had enough. Now, if we are to get out, we've seen 139 million which was pushed for beds, and that was a good amount of money. But of course, now where the problem is how we can quantify this. What have we got out of it? Do we also have monetary evaluation and learning, which is being done by the association? Of course, we need this information for us as members so that we can know where have we where do we have traction. Because we have seen that we have gone to places whereby we are doing sales. Because when I pay money to go for an exhibition, I expect at least 1 or 2 sales. And what about if I pay money, I go to an area and I come back with nothing? I feel so bad. Probably the next time I might feel like I don't want to make that payment. Is there a plan of strengthening monitoring, evaluation and learning? So those learnings are the ones which can help us to probably attract more people to come to us and contribute towards the association, but also everyone to be a little bit engaged when it comes to exhibitions. Thank you.
And I think I've mentioned this many times with you and other colleagues, is that many of us here don't buy things because we've heard about them on TV or radio. Most of the things is because one of our own has bought it and has told us about it. We use mostly the word of mouth or exposure. And I think that's one thing that makes and UNACC have been trying to do. But this is limited. We cannot solely rely on development partners to push us to promote our products. This is a free, this is a liberal economy. If you can commit 100 million on TV and radio, and you say 30, let it be committed to exhibitions, the 70 go to TV and radio as you want. If we can do collective funding internally, and we say among our members, each member is going to spend about 10 million this year on planning exhibitions for UNACC activities around the country. If we have 100 million internally, by the time MEX comes with another 100, GIZ comes with another 100, we have a resource envelope of 300 million. There we can have substantial events running around the country. And that will go be far-reaching than TV adverts. Some of us here, if I asked, who of you has bought something because you watched or heard it on TV? Please, just give me your hand. If you have something you bought because you had an advert on NPS, NTV, UBC, or CPS, Kabozi, then show me your hand. Now, if yourself you've never bought one, how do you expect others to buy what you're advertising on that media house? If it does not work, it doesn't work for you. How do you expect others? They'll find it working and works for them. So I think we need to do some searching internally. Can't we pull this fund? Because I think if we compare the results from exhibitions vis-a-vis the ads, where do we make more sales or prospects? I think we can do that trade-off internally as UNACC and see what works for us. Because the things of energy, there's more a bit of convincing than advertising. You have to explain to someone that they don't get off TV. The other thing is, can we have a bit of position papers? As companies, we know what works for us. Can you have a position paper before GIZ, before MEX, before government, that this is what we think works for us? What are your views about result-based financing? What are your views about asset finance? What are your views about debit finance? Do we have such, so that when government or GIZ makes its planning, they know that for UNACC, their thoughts on promoting guinea cooking are on this line. I'm just saying, we can do these things even before GIZ plans to bring for us a financing package. They first look at what does UNACC thinking about. But otherwise, we just receive whatever comes. Does it really work for us? I'm just saying, I may be wrong, I don't sell, I'm not a salesman, so I don't know if what I'm saying is right. But these are my thoughts from experience. So those are what I would say. Maybe others will add to that when their turn for speaking comes. I want to allow, who is the microphone? Please let him, give him the microphone. He has a question for Justin. I hope I've tried to answer this, Doctor.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My boss, Madam Justin. There are two issues I wanted to raise to you. One, there is circulating rumors, not even rumors, it's officially now communicated to us, that the ministry is trying to make one entity that you would want to work with. And the suggestion is that UNACC and some other organizations for biogas and what should merge under UNACC. We've not engaged this discussion with our members because the source is not justifiable. Can you please let us know how true it is? And then the second issue, you created a serious problem to people's minds, majorly those who are in biomass, when we were at Silver Springs Hotel, when we were engaging with the journalists. Yeah. That day you said, we want to scrap off the biomass element in Uganda. And I was there also, I heard it. And you were saying that you want to base on the issue of that even if you are lighting, when you are lighting that cook stove, there is already smoke generated, which can even endanger somebody. So you say we want as many now to change to EPCs, and we are worried whether the minister had already done some feasibility study and has good data about how you are going to implement. Because first of all, the electricity grid has not been well distributed as much as you know. The EPCs that in the country do not have repair system, and we don't know how durable it is. Because when you take an example of China, when they wanted to go into industrialization, they only did one thing, is to get some good youth, take them out to many industrial countries, then they learned how to produce things. And then they got them back, they began doing it to their country. So now, there is one question. Are we promoting this government issue of buy Uganda, produce Uganda, buy Uganda, that thing? How are we promoting buy Israel or America or what? And then you promote that side. That was the second issue. Was how are we going to let UNACC members survive in this speedy approach of marketing EPCs to the climax, and you underlook, it seems now you are beginning to underlook the other technologies which has been there, and they have helped us. Moreover, you can not looked at how vehicles are spreading a lot of emissions in the air, and you are not restricting any potential. You are not, but you are now you want to assume that EPCs can divert each and everything in Uganda, and this is a very worry that our members are fearing, and they have not even committed themselves to pay subscription fees because they feel you are chasing them away. And when you talk to these guys who already in that slide of technology, they tell you people begin this, you could do EPCs, go with stuff. Now we get discouraged. So that's where the concern is, and it's really out of our members. Thank you so much.
I think I should give Justin the chance to speak, because some of those allegations are illegal allegations. So let me allow us speak to that, and then we have other members react to the respective questions.
Thank you very much, Jean, first of all, for being very candid in communicating this. It's important that we communicate to our partners the right information and engage. And indeed, if you pointed that out, I don't think I said that though, but it was from me. Biomass advocate. I think at some point, I've always fought and said biomass has a future for Uganda. There is a future for biomass in Uganda, and we have a competitive advantage with biomass. If we have the most efficient cooking solutions, then having biomass is a good thing, because this is a resource that grows in a country. We have skilled people in the country that can, manipulate these stoves. So why not promote it? But then I take you back to our policy and our strategy and our policy statement. Our policy statement is to promote all clean cooking solutions. We also recognize that as a country we are over-relying on biomass. Our studies show that the use of firewood and charcoal for cooking is one of the causes of deforestation. So naturally, in a bid to abate deforestation, we have to reduce our biomass consumption. Not stop it, but reduce it. Because with the growing population, this over-demand is not sustainable. We estimate that within the next 20 years, we will not have any biomass. Yet this biomass is good. When you want to stand under a tree, you need the tree. You need it for your hydrology, you need it for timber and so many things. So government's policy is not to do away with biomass. Our policy is to reduce biomass consumption. Right now we are at about 89%. The target is to reach 50%. So that means 50% of the population will still be using biomass. But how? We don't want three-stone fire, those in the other one, the three-stone fire. We don't want that. We want advanced, high quality. So we want to shift from tier 1, tier 2 stoves to tier 3 and above. And I think in that regard, I think that's why we have the GIZ program. Believe me, if we did not want biomass stoves, you would not have the GIZ program promoting the advanced biomass solutions, because it is as a result of our strategy that they align themselves. The GIZ, I think the high tier clean cooking component is focusing on promoting higher tier stoves, because we've seen that these higher tier stoves can actually perform as well as an electric pressure cooker. So if we've spent the last 2 decades promoting these basic improved, can we now graduate as our strategy from this lower tier to now higher tier stoves? And even the MEX program, by the way, is not limited to electric cooking. In other countries such as Kenya, and I think Nepal, they are promoting advanced biomass. But what is advanced biomass? Bio-LPG, biogas, bioethanol, that is all biomass. So when we say we want to reduce biomass, we are not saying do away with cook stoves, we're saying graduate to a higher efficient system, which if the old one was using 10 kilograms of firewood to cook, this new one will now use 1 kilogram to do the same cooking. If the old one required you to cut down a tree to get firewood, this new one can use pellets, which are coming from agro-waste and forest waste. That is the direction we are moving with biomass, doing away with biomass. That is not good for the country. It's an opportunity, actually. I've seen countries that are making an income of exporting pellets, exporting these stoves. It is a good income opportunity. The case for Uganda is it is causing deforestation. Once we do away with that, there is no problem with biomass cook stoves. That is the policy. It is the policy, not my words. And every time you hear me say, go back to the policy, which is government's policy. That's why you see efforts, with UNACC, we are promoting these solutions. Secondly, I had wanted to ask about the communication regarding the associations. From whom did you receive that communication?
From the head of UNACC. So that's what the UNACC wants.
Yes.
So if you want to die with them.
Yes, I think as you make your decision, look for two things. I mean, when you're making a partnership, when you're looking for somebody to marry, you're like, what good attribute do you get? So as you're going to marry to UNREA, what are you getting from them? And what is UNREA getting from you? It has to be a symbiotic relationship. But from the policy perspective and also for the advocacy, we want to speak with a united voice. We want the message that UNREA gives is the same as UNACC, but we also want a voice that is strong enough to advocate for us, not only in the country, but also within the East African region, and even above, outside. We've seen with very strong associations, we can actually advocate for these things such as the tax waivers, the awareness creation, and all those additional requirements. So what we want is a strong voice that speaks in a united matter and that can move and act in line with us. So I think we threw the ball back to UNACC, to UNREA, to sit and harmonize and agree. What we want is at the end of the day is a strengthened association. So if for you see that you're better off together, it is good. But as government, what we want is a strong voice. If too many people are playing in the same broth, it's a bit watered down. But if you have one voice that is strong, and the one voice can be UNACC and UNREA agreeing to send the same message, or agreeing to be one institution, really that is up to you and how you resolve it. Right now, the way you are, you're already attracting financing, you're already speaking with you're approaching government, So as you enter into your marriages, ask yourself what you're getting from them. Are you going to become stronger? And if so, then you know what the right decision should be. Electric pressure cookers. Actually, what have we done this year? We have waived taxes for ethanol. Ethanol is not electricity. Yeah, so we're doing a lot with the other technologies. It's just that this year, if you've seen a lot of focus on electric cooking, it's because of the type of funding that we got, and that was from MEX. But we've had other players, for instance, SNVs, IMEU, I think supported. Can I have a raise of hands on who received some funds from IMEU? I know there are people here who received. Okay, for you. Cooking. But any other person? RM? Okay. Yes, I'm aware of non-e-cooking solutions that received funds, even in this PSFU fund. No, not PSFU, UECCC. It was open, it wasn't specific to electric cookers. Correct me if I'm wrong. So what we want is universal cooking access using the clean cooking solutions. Hopefully, we would like to achieve it by 2030. So all of you have a role to play. What we can do is move for the highest efficient and the highest quality of products. I hope I'm clear. Pardon?
Look at the magic.
Pardon?
Look at the magic companies today.
Magic, yes, we'd like to do that. And I think with we had one procurement that just concluded, that was with Umeme, and we merged a local manufacturer with an international manufacturer. So your advice is it's keenly noted. Let's work together. Give us those suggestions through UNACC, and let's see how we can, create some opportunities for, self-to-self merging and, peer-to-peer merging. Twinning is what they call it. We have a fund that is coming. I think we're about 90%. Confirmation of the fund effective April, and here we'll be looking at the after sales, building the capacity of the local of the wiremen and those who can repair these appliances, doing a bit of the awareness creation, and however a lot will be on the after sales and service and the service repairs, where we are looking at these local wiremen, our local Ugandans who have graduated from Nakawa vocational and training schools. Those are the people that we see can actually get employment in repairing these appliances. So your suggestions are included and incorporated. Today we don't have any local manufacturer of EPCs. We want, in fact, if you come in and tell us, I want to locally produce, I think with Uganda Investment Authority, we shall start a discussion on availing new land. Our tax policy is actually more open to locally assembling than importing. If you're to do local assembly, I think 37% of taxes will be waived off. VAT, import duty, withholding tax and all. I don't know about withholding tax, but that the tax policy on local assembly is already in place. So again, our policy is pushing for local assembly. Can we achieve that now? No. So we want to start with a short interim waiving, maybe VAT, but not import duty, because if we waive import duty, you will never locally assemble this. You will never assemble these products. So looking at waiving VAT, then in the long term, supporting you to do the local assembly. So we are very open. If you have your company who is telling you that they want to produce, please let them come here. Please, through UNACC, let's interact and see how we can support you to locally produce. Because I always say this everywhere I go, it's not fair for us to remove the jobs of 200,000 people in the charcoal sector to go and support Chinese producing these appliances. The same Chinese have been given incentives by their governments to have these companies. So it is in our best interest to ensure that the EPCs, the induction cookers, are produced within Uganda. That is how we are going to achieve the best. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. I think Justin said it right. Biomass is here with us and here you say. I don't know of a country where there is zero utilization of biomass. Every country uses a bit of biomass. But also, for those that are into the biomass and other technologies, so we need you guys to come up with a position paper asking for capacity building on the way forward. How do you advance your skills? How do you even grow skills of people to maintain? These are things you should be asking for. Cost of good is not everywhere, like you say. But if you keep quiet and speak from the background, no one is going to pick interest on your behalf. So please be vocal, present, prepare, show influence. But I know that also government is working to see how do we support, clean up the value chain for biomass, strengthen the biomass actors, add value to what is produced. So please, be in that. I think we have another question that was towards Madame Sala.
But before we leave that one,
yeah.
Most of the members who are asking such important questions, especially to hear that someone who was there last year is still following up on his updated information about the action points that we have taken last year and how far we have moved along with them. I would say, of course, a lot was said last year. If you can give me 1 minute to go through them. Some of the action points for last year are these. Take me just 1 minute to go through them. And we all ask ourselves, why did we fulfill them? One was to get a consultant to study the equity and other banks' green finance model and report to the board for further discussions. This was supposed to be led by the board. That was one of them. Two was to replicate the Australia model on tax exemption for imports of products and some tax exemptions to UNACC, goes to UNACC. Of course, the board still. 3 UNACC thematic groups to form consortium for product standard strengthening at thematic level. That was to be led by JobBack, and the team of JobBack is here. Then also plan for tax clinics for members. I think Pasha will have done this with UNREA. Then UNACC to organize events and invite partners to witness. These events have been through exhibitions, so that's what I can say. Then also set up demonstration centers, something called maybe hubs for exhibitions and demonstrations at a regional level. This activity is going to be taken up by the Ministry of Energy, I think so. Not even thinking so, it is true, so that is not ours. Then set up an online shop for the member products and technologies. Some of the activities or some of the action points that we have raised, like I read through, need money. Most of them need money, which money is not available. But when we get money, probably 2024, we shall be in position to do some of the things. And of course with various stakeholders on top of that. So like, we have a job back here, and the chairperson is here, they can tell us how far they have gone also, because they are the ones who suggested, and they are the ones leading also. So we shouldn't really wait to come and probably remind ourselves from such events, but we should really be interacting and ask ourselves along in the due course of various discussions on the platform, how far have we gone with this? So myself personally, I have to apologize that some of them have not yet been done, but I know the reason why, because most of these activities require money, which we do not have. This year we have been honored, and members don't pay for membership fee. So this year specifically, we only had support from MEX, and MEX came with helping us increase visibility through exhibitions, not to create tax clinics, not to make the exhibition hubs. This money was specifically to buy the tents where we are, and we have to appreciate because now exhibitions are going to be made a little cheaper. You are here, but you don't know that organizing an exhibition, for example, in Owino, can take up 4 million. And members' contribution don't even exceed 600,000. So I'm here, I'm happy to report that at least we have tents, whereby instead of the 4 million now we can contribute 600. I mean 2 million. But even on top of the 2 million, members still don't respond, even after seeing the benefits that they are reporting they get from the exhibitions. I don't really know why this happens. I know, with due respect, that sometimes people don't sell, and no one is going to drag someone. But like Mr. Muksa asked, how many times have you ever gone to Kampala and you found a technology of worth 300,000 and you have the money immediately and you buy it? So some of the people don't buy, we should appreciate that. But what I know is that after the exhibitions, people give out their contacts. And most of the people sell after the exhibitions. Some can sell immediately, but some sell very many, but they don't even report to us that after a week, I made 100 sales. They do not. So, let us appreciate the role of the exhibitions. First of all, they require money. We can say that let us organize a drive for a week. A drive alone is like 6 million. It is not there. So we should just know that we are working within the limits of the little money that we have. Now, something that someone talked about briefly was better, which is very much, because it happened last year, even up to this year, it is not yet sorted. Most of the contributions from the membership, like what Anne read, the FAO of UNACC, we only have 11 people who subscribe for this year. When UNACC says, or when GIZ says there is a project and we demand a certificate, that is when you are going to see members coming to pick certificates. Even those of better will come to UNACC and pick the certificates. When there are no projects, that's when the question comes. Are we for better or for UNACC? But when they want certificates, they know where they can pick them. So we should just really be a little more vigilant and really appreciate the role of UNACC. If exhibitions come under UNACC, why don't you pay membership for UNACC? I've never had a better exhibition organized an exhibition organized by better. So appreciate the few things UNACC is doing, and you pay for membership. It is little money, but it is helping us also to move a lot of various activities for UNACC. So I am requesting, where it needs streamlining, where what is better, what is UNACC, let us do it, not from here, we don't have time for that, but let us find structural ways of really streamlining these things, and we know where can someone pay, so that we know UNACC is running with these people and we are implementing everything together. Other than that, I'm appreciating of some of the organizations, now at least GIZ is coming up to say that you must be a member of UNACC and you must show certificate. Because once these stakeholders come and streamline, they are helping us to be also strong. But if GIZ comes and says, I have this RPF, and they award the RPF to some member of UNACC, but without any UNACC intervention, how can someone come and pay for UNACC membership when there is no contribution? So I would think, and I'm requesting you, Solomon, plus most of the partners who are here, let us, not in bad faith, but if we want to work together and strengthen associations, our members should really see value. When a project comes, I did not feel okay, but I did not have powers to strengthen my wings to UECCC. Otherwise, UECCC, if they listen to what I told them, and they said, because almost 80% of UNACC members applied for UECCC RPF. But if UECCC said, if you're coming from any clinic cooking alliance, I wouldn't even care whether it is better or senior, but come with a letter that shows you belong to either UNACC or better or USEA. In there, people will be strengthened. our association to be strengthened. But if UET people comes, if USEA comes, if SNV comes and they give you projects without any intervention, that is going to kill the associations, whether you want or you don't want. But I'm repeating myself kindly, let us pay for membership. Let us pay for membership so that these activities can move on. Let us belong somewhere.
Sorry for the monotony. I just wanted to say, when it comes to funds, you noted that UNACC doesn't have resources, but to the best of my knowledge, UNACC has never communicated to the ministry on that front. I think, please, I urge UNACC, because we do have quite a number of engagements with UNREA. We actually have, I think, quarterly meetings. I request, I urge you, I implore you, please write to us so that we can have a meeting and discuss where the funding gaps are, so that we can actually do further lobbying with our partners and even direct government resources. How can UNACC, one thing we want is quality standards and self-regulations, and maybe this is something I throw back to you. How can UNACC enable regulation and self-regulation of the products of your members and the products? And I think that's one thing where we can partner together with the ministry, so that I know when I issue out a call and I say you have to be a UNACC member, it's because the members are conforming to a set standard that is in line with what I want. Once I have that requirement, then I will, rather than, it will actually ease my work. I'll simply say, because I know UNACC's members all conform to a national preset standard, so when I require that you have to be a UNACC member, automatically you are conforming to that standard. So how can we, maybe that is something we can prioritize for the next calendar year 2024, can we have internal control, standards, because we already have the national standards on board. How is UNACC ensuring that its members are conforming to those standards? That would be very important for us from the government side.
Now, I have a question for you. Government actually used to be chaired by Sandra. When you work closer to government, and when you work from a distance from government, which is better? Closer or farther?
Closer.
Huh?
Closer.
The closer the better.
The nearer the bone.
Yeah, so why don't you have these people in the body? I'm advising you, all the UNACCs, all the people, whatever, that have succeeded, UNACC of Ghana, UNACC of Nairobi, government is in the thing. They have the money, they have the knowledge, they know the sector. If you had a body which was run by people like me, Brian, you think you would pay up issues like that? So, I'm not saying I want to be a board member. I'm not saying that. But I'm advising you, as you think about 2024, get a very strong board. This business of being yourself, because you have your own interests. You rush to pay me because you want to be appointed as a board member, and then the whole year you are not active. Really? Doesn't work. Get serious on your board. Make sure people like Brian are there, these are there. And for them, they don't come for elections. You make a decision and say, Brian, we want you now board. Because it's not going to come here in the campaign. And say, Justin, we want you on your board, now board. So get serious people on your board. I'm telling you as a former director, so now a financial.
Thank you very much, Mr. James. I think it's also important, what you mentioned is actually important. We diversify the board, you get different people to bring in minds in the discussion, because you don't have inward interests. Because here someone will say, if I'm the chair of the board, I have an upper hand on any project that is coming in the association. So here you have people who are coming in as neutral people, just for the betterment of the institution. So it's something you have to think about. I don't know how flexible, if it's possible, the constitution is, it's an important one. But I want to make another request to the director. we need to have the UNACC website active. It's so misleading, and UNACC is growing. It's having a vibe, but when people go to the website, it's really old. We need it. I don't know if we need to fundraise as well-wishers of UNACC, have it, at least if we cannot have these activities running every day, let's have the website running. That's how we can share that, what has come out from the exhibitions, what we did in break. That's what we can showcase. It's a one-stop center for people to know about UNACC. So I don't know how much it costs. I don't know if someone from this audience can say they can pay, makes us some lose money, we say to pay. Please.
That is a good concern, sir. Sincerely, it has taken us long to have a website. We had gambled with some service providers, so now that land is under my docket. And what we had pressure now from our partners that they wanted to look at our website for exposure. Now what we did, we sent out a call for expression of interest to who can provide us with that, and the deadline was stated for tomorrow. So on Monday we are going to sit down and select somebody who's to produce for us. And then for the funds, we have secured the funds. That one is okay. Now I wanted also to give in what Mr. Kalima's concern about the action plans that the board was supposed to implement, that why we failed. Let me tell you the truth now, for those who are coming in the new board. The board, like Madam Sarah and our treasurer told you, we have nothing like any coin with us. You people, you don't plan, and we don't have. It's always, sometimes it's only the board that looks for some little money to run, and we are not expecting the funds or returns from that. So now what happened? The constitution gives the board a mandate of 2 years. Now the first year is fighting for this, looking at where the account, the signatories were, looking at who did not pay the workers, looking at, so we spent the whole year without even being active, because we had our staff who did not even have to pay. Mr. Gentleman from GIZ had refused to pay up the money. So we were there needing for him, but now he pay us, so that is, it took us long. Now a year spent. Now in this year where we are running, where we will be active, a lot of activities are there, and we have shown that we have been arrived. So maybe in the next meeting you look at even the term of what? Of the board to extend it, because it is 2 years is something that we will go straight away and we shall not be using it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think, Mr. Officer.
Before I sit down, what do you think about government being in the board?
Yes. Now, the issue is this, Mr. James. You headed this project first of all. You are the ex-officials in UNACC. The issue is we are guided by Constitution. And the Constitution, I don't find it anyway. But I'm going to commit myself and read through it, whether there is that gap or it's not there. Because now, most of you people, when we call for the AGM, you are not even there. And now most of the elections are done by physical appearance, not by, we think about somebody who's somewhere. So maybe we shall look through this last 3 months we are dealing with. We shall see what to do. But we would want you people to be there, because now assuming I have Dr. Brian on the board, these things could be running quickly because he knows what is there and he could even change it up.
I understand. She has an explanation.
We've always been on UNACC's board. Yes. We actually chaired. When we designed UNACC, government of Uganda, I think, chaired the board through Engineer Ndaula, elect. Then taken over by Mr. John Tumuhimbi said it is only in this last whereby somebody tactfully changed the constitution to keep us out. Yes. I don't understand why you are trying to kick government out. I really don't understand. However, if it works I mean, we appreciated that you probably want to be fully private sector, and without any conflict of interest, you come to us when you want to advocate for something. So that's how we understood it, and we continued working with you. So you still have our full support, but I do agree, if you had my commissioner on board, I think it will help. For instance, this issue of funds, I've just learned of it now. So, I think it's, it has its benefits. It might also have its loopholes, but I think it's something that my commissioner would want to actually help and ensure that, his participation is absolutely there.
Please, you guys, you stand in between lunch.
Yes.
Our lunch.
The microphone.
But to allow them just to speak. You said to exhaust. Please, yourself. So, please.
So, my comment was to, first of all, look at yourself, but also to Sarah and all of us here as the companies. So, with these different thematic groups, they are responsible for companies who fall under those different thematic groups. So this can provide information to those leaders, for example, how many units have been sold, for example, biomass, they report to their leader, EPCs, e-cooking, biogas, and LP and the like. And then these report directly to Sarah. They feed out this information. For example, this quarter, each thematic group are able to sell this number of units. So, and then Sarah can report that to the ministry or to another authority that is dealing with this matter. Otherwise, if we do not come up with a data center, there's no partner who's going to be willing to fund us when there's no information. So my advice will be for all the companies who are here and all those who are under UNACC, are we willing to submit our information to UNACC on the number of units sold, not any other information, not mention your price, we just want number of units sold. So this will help our association to become strong and also attract funding.
The other thing that will help is that we are looking through finances. A time is going to come with the funds, so you also have to be religious as you can. If you communicate UNACC 5, stick to 5. Because a mismatch, you go to equity when you want funds, and you of course you say you're a member of UNACC, you ask for a certificate or a letter of support from UNACC, and also indicating what sales you declared there. The mismatch will come on your side to buy it. So just a good idea, and I think it leaves the secretariat with the burden. It has other people, satellites, in support of that. So about right now, where is Mr. Barnaby?
Just outside there.
Oh, there's still a question there?
Michael.
Mike.
Where is the microphone?
I thought we were done with questions.
No questions.
How long have the food is cooling down?
I think it has just become interesting, yeah? Big brother. I think UNACC was started in 2012, and the challenge which we had was that we wanted UNACC to be like globalized for medical stores. And we are good at borrowing, okay? No plagiarism, I would imagine to say. So when we did that, we wanted the formation of UNACC to be the same as the other one. And of course, from the first day, some of us will say, no, it's not a good thing. Because, of course, in those early days, we had a lot of benefit which we got from government with the involvement of letting Daula, letting so rest in eternal peace. It was great for us. However, 2 years ago, we felt that there was a need for the association to be managed by the industry players. And of course, we have seen also the benefits to that. I don't know whether that was the reason why we only had 11 people paying for their membership. Because I think there is a time when we had about 56 people who were paid up. But also you can also appreciate, I don't know, I've been at a couple of conferences. You find that most people whom we started with in 2012, they are vanished. They are not there. I don't know, apart from 1, 2, who else? Anybody else who can say? Yeah, 3. James is out, and this one. So you can see that out of the 56 people have just vanished or have sublimed just because of the market. But yes, I think we can't just give up. We can sit down again during the AGM, we can talk through it and say, do we need to go back to government? Go back to government partners? Bring them in the foyer so that we can discuss in detail. Do we think that if we had government on our side, things would be different, or we should strengthen the way how we are working right now? Is it probably we didn't have the right people in the right positions? That's why we are not moving where we are supposed to move. Do we need to have a little bit more funding? But of course, sometimes you can also sympathize with the coordinator, somebody who is working for free. She needs to be paid, not to work for free. Of course, probably that's why we are not moving. Because every time she's like, but I'm just volunteering. Okay? Should we sit down and say we need to put a price on her head so that she's able to do what she's supposed to do? I don't know how many policies we have in UNACC. I don't know the board, how much work the board has done to make sure that they are able to sustain or support the secretariat. Because this is the work of the secretariat. Probably you can hear Justin say that, oh, I didn't know that the secretariat is being supported very well. You understand? She doesn't know. Because probably the board is also not supporting the secretariat to do what they are supposed to do. So those are some of the challenges which can be done by the industrial players, but also we need to think a little bit in detail, deeper. Why do we need the government to be on our board? Because if they come, they will be dictating some things. One, I can give you an example. For example, if we want we are talking about money. Right now, I know there might not be enough money from the government. They will say, oh, sorry, we don't have cash. And we can't put Nicholas or Justin on the spot to say, you mind if we can go and talk to those people to give us money for marketing? They say, no, you have to wait a little bit because you don't have that cash. But what can happen is, if we push from this end, then we write it, probably the government can include it in their what? In their yearly activity plan, so that they can give us that money. I don't know. I'm just thinking, because I've seen the way how government works sometimes, things which come from that side. Yes, they only include into our plan, even including the GIZ or FAO or MEX, that we need to put those activities a little bit in detail to forefront so that they can be included in their plan. So that's how money comes in. So that can only be supported by the what? By the board and the secretariat. So to me, Mr. Manama, I was talking while you were away, but I thought that you would come back and I say when you are here, that yes, we want government, but we have been on the edge for the past 2 years when we tried to change the way how the association was working. I said that the way how we brought in not Mr. Ndaula, but the commissioner for renewable energy was because we were working the way how Global Alliance was formed. That's how they had come together. But after, when we realized that things were not working the way how they were working, we decided to come back and only work with industry players. Yeah? But I think the discussion can continue from now up to next year, probably in February. We talk through it and we see. Do we need the government back, or we only need industrial players? And if only industrial players, how can we strengthen the board? Thank you.
I think actually that discussion is something you can study the two options. How you perform with government and how you perform without government and other partners. Have a clear, so that you know the trade-offs, the pros and the cons before you take a decision, so that you are informed.
From MEX, the money from GIZ, all that money, by the way, is because of your association with government. Otherwise, you would have survived on your membership. So you're already working with us, whether you want it or not. So where are the money ways? Well, is it working for you or not? If we are involved, then we know better. So when we are planning, when we're even having agreements with the MEX, GIZ, we tell them prioritize UNACC because of this and that. But now when you keep that side and you expect this money to come from the sky, no, it doesn't. It's because of a collaboration. This money is actually coming from government. It's not coming from treasury. but it's coming from government through MEX, through GIZ. So this partnership is very, very important. You are as strong as us and we are as strong as you. So we are like Siamese twins. We have to work together. So it's important that we work together and agree where the issues are, where to prioritize, so that we move. Yeah. Not to be a stumbling block. And again, where we are a stumbling block, you have to tell us, because again, it won't work for you and it won't work for us. So that's why we want this, collaborative dialogue. We need to keep dialoguing over and over so that we can grow the clean cooking sector. It will not grow without us, and it will not grow without the private sector. I think for the case of Ghana, government really plays a strong role. That's why you have the Clean Cooking Forum. This Global Clean Cooking Forum is actually hosted by the UNACC of Ghana. But who opens it? It is the Vice President, it is the First Lady of Ghana. Similarly in Kenya, it's now the First Lady of Ghana who is pushing for it. In Tanzania, it is the President of Tanzania, Suluhu herself. In COP, she was the one who was hosting events, and you find the Tanzania Alliance was at the back. And that is because of the government presence. You're not going to move. Yes, you will move strides, but it will take you decades. Yet this is something we could have moved together. Yet even us, without a strong private sector, will not achieve. You'll find these big companies coming in to take all the hard work that we've strived for our local companies. So I urge us, please let us work together.
I think even the aspect you're talking about, twinning, these issues of twinning, where we need, if one or someone who among the decision makers high is part of these discussions internally, it's easier for them to present them. We have Isma as a question. I think I would like to take Isma as the last one.
As a promise, I would like to thank UNACC Secretariat for the work well done in 2023. We know very well you have gone through challenges, but we are with you. My submission is about two things, about Job Bank Energy Consortium, which is well represented here. I'm the chair. Have members present, Yosa Green, Asimwe, and Sabatuka Jim is a member. It's comprised of 5 companies. The reason why Job Bank was formed was to address the challenge of incapacity, which was very much raised by the funders. Whenever you could apply, many people are saying you don't have the capacity. So what have we done as Job Bank? We've tried ourselves so much to say that we promote ourselves through consortium engagements and submission of proposals, but unfortunately we've been humiliated in many cases. Why? I may think that maybe the donors would love to know much about the companies in the consortium. But we have so far done that. We very well know that you have now been known and we are good to go. Thank you, the members, for the work we've done. And Energy Consortium is comprised of both energy, Green Fit Works, African Energy, Safer, and Yosa Green. About what has been happening here, about UNACC, being the head of the association I was there when it was being formed, the reason was about the Global Fund, which was coming from Global Alliance. I've been telling people that UNACC died at the time it was formed. Reason being, the members were not given the mandate to actually to position to own the association. Many funding was too much by that time. When you went to WDRPF, could fund everything, the eats, the what, the promotions, so they would not even tell people that the companies had to have something. So that's what people thought of, that they would be given free money every time they would go. Imagine the ministry would go, if you go to the Western region, they would facilitate
the person who was on the tent, well, the feeding, the accommodation. So people are there on the free page. Actually, I was saying, is this sustainable? If the association is sustainable, so don't. Actually, the mandate of UNACC to take the constitution to see that they distance themselves from the ministry or the NGOs want to try to see, can they bring these people back to know their mandate in an association? Don't bring it as a by the way. People should own the association. Should own the association, should know the powers of the association. No wonder why you find that in Imeu, sorry to mention this, they need to have guidance on this. You find companies doing kwara, have been given projects. You find somebody in London has been given a project and is looking for people to do the project with us. How? You ask him, how have you been in the sector? How have my business? I was just at this business 5 years back. But it's coming on board. So what is the way forward? So I really recommend we go back to the ministry, the mother ministry. These people are doing it well. But how they were doing, they needed the guidance. But because we didn't have the mandate, the capacity, we could not guide. Because we are very small and we could fear the doublers, we are on board. So we are managing this, I know why now we are going to take. So if they say are giving billions to GIZ to do the facilitation, actually we are among the people who boycotted the campaign of the Global Alliance. Because the way it was done, it was not sustainable. We boycotted, we said no, we are not going to be involved in the Global Alliance campaign because it's not sustainable. They said, why you are doing what? Yes, it's not sustainable. We need something which is sustainable. You don't tell me I'm going to sell the stuff in the group at 10,000. How is it be sustainable? You can stop at other people who did so. I don't know where they are now. They are here? They are here? Are they in the market? I'm sorry to mention this, but it's painful. It's painful to me as an entrepreneur who want to be sustainable in the future. So it has how sustainable development partners. The mail is coming with the RDF. It's not sustainable. You can't tell me you're giving me 50% discount. I go to Kanogu, I sell stuff at 10,000 after the project which happened 5 years. Hey, is it this going to kill the sector? So to mention, I don't apply for UNACC because it was not relevant to me. Because it's not sustainable, let me keep quiet and be doing my business. So if the project goes back, I'll sell my stuff in the next generation. Thank you very much.
Exhibitor of the year. UNACC has had a lot of events. We want to award 2 outstanding, and that is, I'll invite government help me hand over this award to the best exhibitor. You know how many exhibitions do you hold this year?
Almost 30.
Over that, plus rec and main. UNACC was everywhere. I think it was almost 3 everywhere tents. So thank you very much, and the award winner is, you want to open and read for us. I think that's what this. And I think I should also invite Senior Director James Manawi, because he's behind the exhibitions. And
Okay, thank you so much, all our dear exhibitors. Not that you didn't perform well, but one I was outstanding because in all the exhibitions, like 30, they were there. They could pay. No any exhibition they came without paying. They could pay whether they sold or not. All the exhibitions they've been participating actively. So thank you so much, Doctor. And the sales manager, I think, for the wonderful job you did. This is an appreciation from UNACC for the great work you did, and please continue even for the next year. Thank you so much.
For that hour.
Best
partner of the year is Modern Energy Cooking Services.
We have to speak up. Congratulations.
Yeah.